Hey, hello. You're stuck in traffic with Wolf Gorlick. Couple minutes on IT security. Today I'm thinking about checkboxing the checkboxes. All the checkboxes. So, sometimes I have calls with clients, and it's like a therapy session, right? They're like, I want to do more, but I can just check the checkboxes. They're so depressed, right? Because everyone tells them that they're doing it wrong, because checkbox security is not security at all, and you suck. They're like, I only have enough resources and I can't even check all the checkboxes. So we got that going on. Another thing is when I do maturity assessment, where I go through and look at a given standard across zones within the organization, so high security zones or payment zones or whatever it may be, and then measure the maturity levels in each one of those zones against that standard, looking at the controls within the standard maturity assessment. Again, it's like, well, should we be, CMM 5 on everything? Should we be the most mature in everything? We need to invest more, because we're only doing checkbox security. And so I'd like to pause and say, I'm kind of tired of everyone going, oh, well, checkboxes, they're horrible. And the vendor's trying to go, oh, you're terrible. Let me shame you for doing checkbox security. Let me tell you what I'm thinking here. If you think about the balloon tower defense, right? So I mentioned this in the previous video. You've got the balloon tower game, which is the path your attackers take. You've got the enemies going up, right? The balloons, if you're doing balloons. And then you've got your controls, which are potential avenues to stop those bad guys, the balloons, from reaching the end goal, your critical data, what have you. Right, balloon tower defense. So if you start meeting a compliance standard at, let's say, a CMM 2, right? Maturity level 2 out of 5. Let's call that checkbox. You've checked all the boxes to a bare minimum level. That's not too bad. And let's say you've got $1 million budget, and that cost you $500,000. Okay? That's not too bad. Now you can spend that remaining $500,000 building up your defenses in key areas, as opposed to then trying to spend, like, let's say, the remaining $500,000 to get everything from CMM 2 to 2.5 or 3. That may be good. It's good to raise that level consistently, but consistently across all domains means you're not prioritizing. And you have no way of knowing, without having some good feedback and some good data insights, and we'll cover that in a future talk, you have no way of knowing where you should be prioritizing, right? Should everything be at 4? Are some things not at all, hit by criminals or applicable to your organization? You have no idea. If you're just blindly trying to get everything up to one level of CMM. I think it's much better to get everything up to a minimum level, then look at the balloon tower defense, look at the attack path, then add controls that are not in that standard, right? Because not everything's in the standard. Standards are usually a couple years behind the criminals, as we all know. Add controls beyond that standard, harden systems beyond it, and utilize that remaining budget to go deep. So here's 3 ways, for example, you can go deep. All right, $500,000 on reaching CMM 2, checking all the boxes. $500,000 on, let's say, vulnerability management and configuration management, hardening all the systems, making sure that there's no known vulnerabilities, and that any changes are notified. The likelihood of a criminal breaking in just went down dramatically, because they're not going to be able to break in. Most of them can't break in without a known exploit, right? I mean, there's always blah, blah, blah. But if they do break in with something and they change something, which is what criminals do, good configuration management, boom, you're alerted, you're on goal. That's one option, one strategy. Another strategy would be checking all the boxes and then going real deep on monitoring. Maybe you've got a solid SIM program, solid IPS, IDS, solid firewall, solid DLP. So perhaps you're okay with people breaking in because you can't stop that, but you've got really good detection, fantastic response, right? Taking those resources and prioritizing them is really the key to raising that from a low level of security to a high level. That's it. Cheers.